Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for October 30th, 2014. And we had a cold front move through last night, so temperatures today are going to respond in kind. We're going to have temperatures that are going to be stuck in the 50s across the majority of our coverage area here. And wind will not be really a factor, so it won't be a bad day overall with no precipitation, mostly sunny skies. Here's that cold front sitting out here well offshore. By the time we get to Thursday morning, and you have high pressure out here in the Ohio Valley that's going to move eastward. So we're going to be under mostly sunny skies, calm winds. You see these isobars here. When you have really strong winds, these are very tightly packed together here, but these are spread out pretty far here. So there's your isobars there. So we're really not talking about winds that are being a factor today either. So it'll be a very nice day, just a little bit chillier, but you know, that's pretty much normal for this time of year, or maybe slightly below, if anything. But normal temperatures for this time of year are now getting into the 50s in many locations until you get down to Philadelphia, which we're still sitting at about 62 for a daily high on this date. We are going to go forward here and talk about this next system here, and this is the one coming up from the Great Lakes region here. Here's a low pressure system associated with this system here, and this is going to dive down to the south here. Now, there's a lot of speculation all week of what this was going to do. Where it's going to bring some early season snowfall for some. Were you going to get anything from it? There's a lot of different questions on the board here, and it looks like, for the most part, we're not going to get too much into it, and this doesn't it seems like it's heading right towards us here, and there's going to be a big, could be a potential big storm with another one sitting offshore here, and if these two could link up, we could have a big storm along the coast here. Well, that's not going to happen, and now we have a third factor that we didn't have to consider early on because it didn't look like it was trending that way. But now the northern stream energy is very progressive and is actually not going to catch up to the system in time to bring the cold air with it either. So looking at most areas just being showers here as we get into Friday night and Saturday. I'll show you that here in a second. Go a little bit forward here. Here's this system, and without really seeing the broad picture of why this is just diving south here and then kind of rounding out like this, which is what it's going to do. So it's coming from the Great Lakes region, coming down like this, and it's going to round the trough here, and then it's going to merge with another system offshore here and continue up like this. But the reason it's not really affecting us and this low pressure is going to be too far to the east is because of the trough axis. Now I'll show you where that's doing here. And the best way to explain this is a 500 millibar. So this is the upper level pattern sitting at about 18,000 feet up in the atmosphere. And this is the relative vorticity we're looking at here. Here's your trough axis sitting out here like this, and this is initially it's going to be sitting here like this. So this becomes a cutoff low, and it's digging down to the south here toward the base of the trough in this direction here like this. The cold air is still bottled up here in this area here, and it's not able to come down because you have this northern stream feature here that's very progressive and moving over the top here. So this is moving along the northern stream. This is where your cold air is, and you need this to dive down south with this, and it's really not. So because of that, there's not going to be enough cold air involved in the system as originally projected. You also have another system out here offshore that this is eventually going to catch up to somewhere out in this region here. So there's a lot of timing differences here. In order to get a big snowstorm, you would need this and this and this, all three to come together right at the right time, right about here, and then get captured and come up the coast here, and you'd have a October 29, 2011 situation all over again. But we're not having that here, so there's no concern. There's nothing going to change. This is exactly what it's projected to do, with just some minor differences from this point. So we're going to move this a little bit forward, just looking at Friday morning, and you can see our system cut off low here, moving to the south here. The northern stream energy running way out ahead of it, and then we get a little bit further here. And this finally rounds the trough here and positions itself off the Carolina coast here. At this point, your trough axis is really dug in here. So you got a really deep trough up here. But since this is a cutoff low, your northern stream energy is still sitting up here. Here's all your cold air right here. It's still not digging down into our area, so you don't have that cold air source. And then so it's delayed pretty much here, pretty far. So your temperatures on Saturday now, instead of being in the lower 40s like we were projecting earlier, now since this northern stream energy, the cold air source, is delayed, we're now talking about temperatures being in the upper 40s. But we will have windy conditions as this thing moves out. Eventually this rounds the trough here, and you see it's well east here. The energy is well east with this storm as it moves off to the northeast. Go back to the operational guidance now, and we're going to show you what this looks like on the maps here. Here's the precipitation. You still can get some shower activity over here during the day on Saturday. So we're not out of the woods with showers, but this is rain showers. Your 32-degree line is way up here, again, up in southeastern Canada. So anything up here would be snow. But of course, our coverage area is over here. So we're just south of that line, and temperatures will be in the 40s. Maybe mid to upper 40 to near 50 in Philadelphia, but we're talking about temperatures are going to be too warm to produce snow. And then here's that system right in the trough. It's going to eventually catch up with this other system. Here's one, here's two. You see they're two separate things here. Eventually we're going to catch up to this here, and it's going to form a one consolidated system offshore here, and that's what we have here. But you see it's well east of the area, so we're not producing any precipitation whatsoever. So one thing we'll be worried about here is this, we're not worried, but we will have some, again, we're just talking about those winds today, being the isobars being very far apart. You see here it is Saturday night, Sunday. Look how close on top of each other these are here. That's indicating some very windy conditions that are expected later Saturday night, and Sunday, where we can have wind gusts. Probably, Saturday probably be limited up to 35 miles per hour, but Sunday we get gusts over 40 miles per hour, 45 miles per hour until the system pulls away. And that's basically the concept of you have a very strong high pressure sitting out here in the Ohio Valley, and the low pressure system offshore, which is pretty strong. It's a pretty strong system, projected to be at 987 millibars, and the high pressure sitting here at 1,031 millibars. So that pressure difference creates this pressure gradient. Pressure gradient, of course, is what causes the strong wind. So we will be done with that this weekend once again. Temperatures will be well below normal. We're going to have temperatures in the 40s on both days, Saturday and Sunday. And then, but we're not expecting much of anything in the way of frozen precipitation. As this cold air does finally pull down south here, go back a few frames here. If there is enough precipitation here Saturday evening, which is not very likely, it's probably a long shot, but you have some of this precipitation here shown over northeast PA. I would not be surprised to see a few snow flurries or a quick snow shower, but nothing accumulating, of course. But this might be just close enough to allow for that to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that just in case. That'll be your only shot at seeing some snowflakes in any area. Then this system pulls away, and we have high pressure moving back in for Monday, and then on Tuesday it moves off the coastline. So that return flow around the high pressure will allow the temperatures to warm up once again. We're not getting crazy with the warmth here, but we're talking about temperatures getting back into the 60s for highs, slightly above normal. And here's your next front. Coming in, probably the Wednesday, Thursday time frame, might even have low pressure form along this frontal boundary that could enhance some rainfall as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for October 30th, 2014. Have a great Thursday.